Hello everybody. So today we are going to revise the section rules part of Indian Patent Act. So there are total 16 chapters and total 139 rules. So let's begin. Chapter 1, Rules 1 to 9, Preliminary. Rule 1, Show title and commencement. Rule 2, Definitions. Rule 3, Prescribed particulars. Rule 4, Appropriate office. Rule 5, Address of service. Rule 6, Leaving and serving documents. Rule 7, Fees. Rule 8, Forms. Rule 9, Filing of documents and copies, etc. Chapter 2, Rules 10 to 16, Application for patents. Rule 10, Period within which proof of right under section 7(2) to make the application shall be furnished. Rule 11, Order of recording applications. Rule 12, Statement and undertaking regarding foreign applications. Rule 13, Specifications. Rule 14, Amendments to specifications. Rule 15, Drawings. Rule 16, Models. Chapter 3, Rules 17 to 23, International Application under Patent Corporation Treaty (PCT). Rule 17, Definitions. Rule 18, Appropriate office in relation to international applications. Rule 19, International applications filed with appropriate offices as receiving office. Rule 19A, Indian International Searching Authority. Rule 19B, International Search Report. Rule 19C, Time limit for establishing International Search Report. Rule 19D, Transmittal of International Search Report and Written Opinion. Rule 19E, Confidential Treatment. Rule 19F, Indian International Preliminary Examining Authority. Rule 19G, Period for making a demand. Rule 19H, Fees payable to examining authority. Rule 19I, Manner of making a demand. Rule 19J, Processing of demands for international preliminary examination. Rule 19K, International Preliminary Examination Report. Rule 19L, Period for establishing International Preliminary Examination Report and its transmission. Rule 19M, Transmittal of International Preliminary Examination Report. Rule 19N, Conditions for and extent of refund. Rule 20, International applications designating and electing India. Rule 21, Filing of priority document. Rule 22, Effect of non-compliance with certain requirements. Rule 23, the requirements under this chapter to be supplemental of the regulations etc. under the treaty. Chapter 4, Rules 24 to 38, Publication and examination of applications. Rule 24, Publication of application. Rule 24A, Request for publication. Rule 24B, Examination of application. Rule 24C, Expedited examination of applications. Rule 25, Identification of published applications. Rule 26, Request for withdrawal. Rule 27, Inspection and supply of published documents. Rule 28, Procedure in case of anticipation by prior publication. Rule 28A, Procedure in relation to consideration of report of examiner under section 14. Rule 29, Procedure in case of anticipation by prior claiming. Rule 30, Amendment of the complete specification in case of anticipation. Rule 31, Form of reference to another specification. Rule 32, Procedure in case of potential infringement. Rule 33 Form of reference to another patent. Rule 34 Manner in which claim under section 21 shall be made. Rule 35 Manner in which a request may be made under section 24. Rule 36 Manner of application under section 25. Rule 37 Numbering of applications on the grant of patent. Rule 38 omitted. Chapter 5 omitted. It was considering Rule 39 to 54. Chapter 6 Rules 55 to 70. Opposition proceedings to grant of patents. Rule 55 Opposition to the patent. Rule 55A Filing of notice of opposition. Rule 56 Constitution of Opposition Board and its proceeding. Rule 57 Filing of written statement of opposition and evidence. Rule 58 Filing of reply statement and evidence. Rule 59 Filing of reply evidence by opponent. Rule 60 Further evidence to be left with the leave of the controller. Rule 61 Copies of document to be supplied. Rule 62 Hearing. Rule 63 Determination of costs. Rule 63A A request made under section 26(1). Rule 64 to 65 omitted. Rule 66 Form of making a request under section 28(2). Rule 67 Form of making a claim under section 28(3). Rule 68 Form of application to be made under section 28(7). Rule 69 Procedure for hearing of claim or an application under section 28. Rule 70 Mention of inventor. Chapter 7 Rules 71 to 72 Secrecy directions. Rule 71 Permission for making patent application outside India under section 39. Rule 72 Communication of result of reconsideration under section 36(2). Chapter 8 Rules 73 to 80 Grant of patents. 73 omitted. Rule 74 Form of patent. Rule 74A Inspection of documents related to grant of patent. Rule 75 Amendment of patent under section. Rule 76 Manner of applying for direct under section 51(1). Rule 77 Manner of application under section 51(2). Rule 78 Procedure for hearing of proceedings under section 51. Rule 79 Request under section 52(2). Rule 80 Renewal fee under section 53. Chapter 9 Rules 81 to 83 Amendment of application, specification or any document relating thereto. Rule 81 Amendment of application, specification or any document relating thereto. Rule 82 Preparation of amended specification, etc. Rule 83 Publication of the amendment allowed. Chapter 10 Rules 84 to 86 Restoration of patents. Rule 84 Restoration of patents. Rule 85 Opposition to restoration under section 61. Rule 86 Payment of unpaid renewal fees. Chapter 11 Surrender of patents. Rule 87 Surrender of patents. Chapter 12 Rules 88 to 95 Register of patents. Rule 88 Register of patent under section 67. Rule 89 omitted. Rule 90 Registration of title and interest in patents. Rule 91 Presentation of assignment, etc. of patent to controller. Rule 92 Registration of title or interest in a patent. Rule 93 Entry of removal fee. Rule 94 Alteration of address. Rule 95 Inspection of register of patent under section 72 and fee payable therefore. Chapter 13 Rules 96 to 102 compulsory license and revocation of patent. Rule 96, application for compulsory license, etc. Rule 97, when a prima facie case is not made out. Rule 98, notice of opposition under section 87(2). Rule 99, manner of publication of the revocation order. Rule 100, application under section 88(4). Rule 101, procedures to be followed in case of application under section 88(4). Rule 102, application for termination of compulsory license under section 94. Chapter 14, Rules 103 to 107, Scientific Advisors. Rule 103, Role of Scientific Advisors. Rule 103A, disqualification for inclusion in the role of scientific advisors. Rule 104, manner of application for inclusion in the role of scientific advisors. Rule 105, inclusion of the name of any other person in the role of scientific advisors. Rule 106, power to relax. Rule 107, removal of name from the role of scientific advisors. Chapter 15, Rules 108 to 120, Patent Agents. Rule 108, particulars to be contained in the register of patent agent. Rule 109, application for registration of patent agents. Rule 110, particulars of the qualifying examination for patent agents. Rule 111, registration of patent agents. Rule 111A, issue of duplicate certificate of patent agent. Rule 112, detail to be included in an application for the registration of patent agent. Rule 113, registration of patent agents under section 126(2). Rule 114, disqualification for registration as a patent agent. Rule 115, payment of fees. Rule 116, removal of name from the register of patent agents. Rule 117, restoration of name of person removed from the register of patent agents. Rule 118, alteration of name etc. in the register of patent agents. Rule 119, refusal to recognize as patent agent. Rule 120, publication of the names of patent agent registered under the Act. Chapter 16, Rules 121 to 139, Miscellaneous. Rule 121, period within which copies of specification etc. are to be filed. Rule 121A, address of communications. Rule 122, correction of clerical errors. Rule 123, manner of advertisement of the proposed correction of any error. Rule 124, manner and time of opposition to the making of corrections. Rule 125, notification of corrections. Rule 126, form etc. of affidavits. Rule 127, exhibits. Rule 128, directions not otherwise prescribed. Rule 129, exercise of discretionary power by the controller. Rule 129A, adjournment of hearing. Rule 130, application for review of decision or setting aside of order of the controller. Rule 131, form and manner in which statements required under section 146(2) to be furnished. Rule 132, form of application for the issue of duplicate patent. Rule 133, supply of certified copy and certificates under section 72 and 147. Rule 137, request for information under section 153. Rule 135, agency. Rule 136, scale of costs. Rule 137, power of controller generally. Rule 138, power to extend time prescribed. Rule 139, hearing before the controller to be in public in certain cases. And that's all. Thank you so much for